Good evening, everybody. Bob Cole with Harry Neal in the booth at the Reunion Arena in Dallas, and here comes Game 6. And the city is alive with hockey.
Welcome back, everybody. Is it tonight or is it Monday? That's all there is left, that somebody's going to get this cup. New Jersey Devils lead the series 3-2. Ed Belfour, the chant Eddie has been going on for about 20 minutes.
Gary, the odds of these two goaltenders playing here being as good as they were in Game 5 are not that good. The odds of one of them being as good, greater. The question is, which one will it be?
And Martin Brodeur looking for his 50th career playoff win. And his wife Melody, who we saw the other night, going through more agony, I think, than Martin Brodeur did. She is here on this trip, and she's hiding. She can't bear to watch.
Which begs the question, why did she make the trip?
But she is a loyal spouse. Face-off at center. Mike Modano comes out to take it. Game 6 is underway. Devils win, and the cup in again. Checked by Danico, freed it up. Arnott a shot. Save made by Belfour. As the Devils, that ship pouring on 4 shots. Cleared out the center again. Devils will get it back. So the Devils pick up that mighty momentum here for the moment. All the way around behind the net. Niedermayer, who can skate. Leaves it. Sykora crisscrossing, shot it in. Belfour's got to hang on. And another Devil down. And was that Hatcher?
Yes, it was. And Petr Sykora right now has no idea what planet he is on.
The Devils are after Hatcher, Bill.
Derian Hatcher caught him coming across, and this was a hit that was like a Scott Stevens hit. Derian Hatcher caught Petr Sykora coming across to his side with his head down and just smoked him.
Petr Sykora, part of that Arnott Sykora first line that leads the Devils. He has not moved his head.
There he is. He's moving now. I think he's coming to. Bill Murray, the athletic trainer, the medical man, is out there talking to him. I have no idea what kind of response he is getting, but to me, Petr Sykora was clearly, if not out, at least dazed.
This game has started out really tough.
Here's Sykora coming across the blue line, and he took his shot when Cote stood up on him, and there was Hatcher colliding with him. I don't know if he got the elbow into him, but a lot like the Eric Lindros situation with Stevens, it looked like Sykora was going down when he ran into Hatcher. Hatcher's back almost looked like it was to him when they hit.
And as is often true with potential injuries to the neck, they will bring the doctors out, and they have asked for the stretcher to be brought out as well.
By the way, that is the Dallas trainer, Dave Supernaw, that is out there helping out. I mean, times like this, there are no adversaries and there are no enemies. Something like this. There's Derian Hatcher in the middle. Boy, he might have gotten his elbow into Sykora's chin. You know that? Hard to tell.
So Daryl Sydor is out of the game. Joe Nieuwendyk had been poleaxed onto the ice but is playing. The Devils, Hatcher went out looking for Arnott, who did that to Nieuwendyk. Hatcher hits Sykora, and we haven't even played the first period of this Game 6.
Petr Sykora has barely moved. Now at least he's spread his skates apart. You see the Devils standing around looking at Petr Sykora. I know how much they care about Petr Sykora, but this is almost the time where you should allow the trainers to do what they do and move away so that you are not affected emotionally by what you are watching. And I'm almost surprised that Larry hasn't called them over. Larry Robinson hasn't called his players away from that situation.
Every battle to the Stanley Cup always ends up being a great battle. And as we said before, winning that Game 4, there is nothing tougher in sports. Come out along with the Devil players, talking to one another at times about what's happened. There's Hatcher, the man who hit Sykora. And here in the middle of this huge battle in Game 6, everything stops and all the guys come out. And you remember, as you do in the lines that form at the end of playoff series, all people, just games. This matters more. They'll go back, play again, but there they are.
Right now, they're just all hockey brothers. Scott Stevens, Patrick Elias, number 26 for the Devils, is Petr Sykora's best friend. I'm going to show you how this shaped up here. First of all, there is Sykora trying to beat his man, and there is Derian Hatcher over on this side. They come together. This angle really looked like Derian Hatcher got the elbow up right into Petr Sykora's face or off his jaw. Remember, there's no penalty called on this play, but Sykora was actually in a crouching position, so it's hard to tell whether that was an intentional elbow or not. At this point, it is moot. What is at stake here is the health of Petr Sykora. Nobody is calling for a penalty out there. Nobody's even talking about it. Both benches very concerned, and wow, they've got his neck immobilized. It's so great to see Dave Supernant, the Dallas Stars trainer, out there with Bill Murray, the Devils trainer, and they are both walking him off. Supernant's gone back to his bench, but this may be reasonably serious since it drew such a crowd of players. Usually when word spreads very quickly on the ice that everything's okay, players relax and go about their business. But this seemed to draw a greater crowd as the drama unfolded.
You could see Sykora talking to the medical staff as he was being wheeled off there. He's responding to people, the doctors, trainers who were talking to him. And a lot of that, as we mentioned before, is precautionary to make sure that they do not do any further damage should there be any spinal or neck injuries. And Hatcher asking, is he all right? Asking Bill McCurry, the referee. Well, it'll be interesting to see what the effect is here. This is when he was down on the ice.
When he first hit, and you could tell by his eyes that he has no idea what is going on around him right now.
Now you got to regroup, does it? That one played off the blocker and the stick. Pretty confident. Mr. Brodeur, no angle shot, side of the net, and that's it. And we end it the way we started it, with a lot of intensity. Scoreless at the end of one again.
Derian Hatcher yelling, he headbutted me, and that looked like what Claude Lemieux did, but it wasn't hard enough to get called. He headbutted me. Derian Hatcher is still screaming for a headbutt call. Claude Lemieux came at him in the corner. Watch this. He did too. Not hard enough, though, I think, to get called, but he did, in fact, catch him with the helmet.
First 6 games of this series have won. Hatcher will come back to get it. I'll tell you, power play units have struggled mightily for each of these teams because the penalty killing units are so good. Brodeur around the far side boards. Lemieux protecting the man, got it out of there. Centering pass, got it 2-on-1. Niedermayer's in front. Niedermayer's shot! A score! Scott Niedermayer! A short-handed goal on Ed Belfour!
What a play! What an incredible play. First of all, by Claude Lemieux at the blue line to forget about the puck and just kind of pitchfork Cote out of the way. And then you want to see some rocket-assisted skates? Scott Niedermayer. There was the play by Lemieux, and then Pandolfo made a super play back to Lemieux, who just one-touched it to Niedermayer. I mean, Scott Niedermayer exploded from the other end. Only Scott Niedermayer could have made this happen because of his incredible skating speed. Ed Belfour followed him. This just made it across the line. I wondered why the delay in the celebration. It was because it just trickled across. There is Melanie Brodeur. She was watching that go in. She doesn't feel the pain when Ed Belfour has a puck go by him, but she feels it at the other end. Just trickled across the line.
Niedermayer gets it, a 1-0 New Jersey Devils lead, and they finally end the shutout streak of Eddie Belfour with the goal. White left it in the middle, deflected, and Thornton trying to clear it out. Can't. Gomez shot. Elias, save made by Belfour. Elias back. Jason Arnott trying to center, and it blocked in behind the net. Modano moves it out. Mike Modano, he has been the man in this playoffs for them. Cleared back, far side shot. Score! Mike Keane!
by Mike Modano. Mike Modano took off from his own end. We talked about Niedermayer's speed on the New Jersey goal. This was all Mike Modano. He brought it all the way in, and then Thornton made a beautiful dish off to Mike Keane. And the Dallas Stars want to go high on Brodeur, just like the Devils want to do on Belfour. Right to the shelf, baby, for Mike Keane. And it is 1-1. That's what Dallas had to do. They
Modano couldn't get it out of the zone. They line it up with Doug. And we will go to the third period, a 1-1 game because of goals at 5:18 by Niedermayer from Lemieux and Pandolfo, and 6:27 from Keane. Back, everybody. They are rocking here at Reunion Arena. 1-1 going to the third period. Devils trying to take the cup. They have won their Stanley Cup final games on the road. 2 last year, 2 so far this year. They win another cup series. Very Cornville medal.
And ultimately, it may just come down to the goaltending in this tilt.
Going to have to continue to shuffle because neither Sador nor Sykora will be coming back. These two have been magnificent. Last 2 games, they have put on a show. Matching liners were picked up at the end of the period. They'll continue to be served as you've got Thornton and White out. There's Colin White for the New Jersey Devils. So 4-on-4 situation, third period. And the intensity continues to build. No room to be had by either team. The cup lost it. Lemieux tried to clear it out. Could not. Great play. Miller to hold it in. Fans on fire side to pick up Jason Arnott. Blocked. The chance by Sloan. Cleared around the near side to White. White goes back the other way. Malakoff into the middle. Pass right across ice. Lemieux has it. Lemieux. McGillney in front of him. Dropped it. Oh! Just a little too far. Pass to a location. And McGillney almost had an iron center shot. Go forward. There's another pass. He turned behind him. Thought it had gone in. It hit.
How close. Patrick Elias with a little tip. Couldn't get it by Ed Belfour. A great defensive play on the original rush by Derian Hatcher. That's why McGillney didn't get it. But then they regrouped. And McGillney put it right out front. Dave Manson overskated it. So Arnott to Elias, a little spin around. There's where Ed Belfour looked behind him and said, please, please don't let me see anything made of rubber behind me. Watch this. Watch Ed Belfour. Nope. Trying to get his guys going, trying to coach over there. I'll tell you what, they're back on their heels, and they haven't been able to exploit what I mentioned Dallas was having trouble with, the chemistry of their defense pairings. The Devils have not been able to sustain any attack in Dallas' zone.
Dallas chooses to match up as they have throughout this series with Mike Modano coming out in the last change against the Jason Arnott line, and McGillney is out there in place of Sykora. Elias in. Elias shot. Save made by Belfour. Patrick Elias. Elias behind the net for McGillney. Save made Belfour. Rebound to center.
Best chances for the Devils. I think Elias' shot hit the handle of Belfour's stick above his blocker.
Stevens gets it open. McGillney open again. Takes it. Save made by Belfour.
Now they're shooting high. Now the Devils, when they get the chance, are trying to go high on Ed Belfour. And they're coming fast and hard. Finally, some life for the Devils. Watch this. Here's Elias' shot. He got the blocker on it. Didn't hit the handle. Just at the end of the top of the blocker. And then McGillney with a close-range shot, trying to get the puck up in the air. McGillney had one after that. Yeah, that sign's left over from the conference final series against Colorado when everybody was chanting Eddie is better. That duel between Patrick Waugh and Ed Belfour.
Belfour with a .929 save percentage coming in. Brodeur .925. Back to the point. Lemieux. Another Belfour save. And the Devils with 4 quick rips.
I don't know what's happened to the Devils, but something woke them up. Remember we showed Larry Robinson going on a little rant on the bench? Maybe that got him revved up. Scott Gomez, a clean win on the veteran Guy Carbonneau. Ooh. Ed Belfour wanted to make sure he didn't drop this one. No pucks at his feet, no rebounds. But Larry...
3:18 to go. No team wants to see this until they've won it. But we can show you the Stanley Cup indeed is here. It has to be ready. And they are bringing it into the building now.
Oh, we're not going to unveil it just yet.
The cup that travels.
The Devils in that 33-second span had 4 shots on Ed Belfour, and at least a couple of them were dandies. The one from Elias, the one will have any effect. It would be one heck of a play to generate a good scoring opportunity, even with 3 seconds to go.
Good have these guys been.
Pretty well done it again. You know, I said early in the game, the odds of these two guys being as good here in Game 6 as they were in Game 5, not very good. The odds of one of them being as good, even better. When they've had to be, they've both been just about as good, although there haven't been the spectacular saves because there haven't been the great scoring chances.
Shot in by Stevens. So for these two goaltenders, they give up 1 goal each through 3 periods. 29 shots for the Stars and 31 for the Devils. The goals coming a minute 9 apart. Second period. Niedermayer got his at 5:18 and Keane tied it up at 6:27. So here we go. Their careers, playoff overtime games. Brodeur, 3 wins. Belfour, 17 and 14. We never have time to mention all of the people who work for us, who are the cameramen, technicians, tech operators, people in the truck who do the tape and the graphics. They are magnificent. They have had a very long 3 days. Many of them had 6 o'clock flights on the morning where the game finished at 1:30 to try and get back to Dallas. Worked all day yesterday setting up and preparing, and then today. That is our crew motto. Never surrender.
And we're just trying to get everybody psyched up in the event that this is a rerun of Game 5 for those 6 a.m. flights tomorrow, should the Dallas Stars win. We will point out there are no TV timeouts in overtime. You've got to be careful how you use your personnel. This is also the long change from your bench. It's the equivalent of the second period, so you can't overstay your shifts.
Zoop. He wasn't in Game 5. McKay chases down behind the net. McKay in front, center shot, just missed. Breland. Oh, Sergei Breland, who went off. Tim cutting. Nieuwendyk in. Nieuwendyk missed it wide.
Cup. Here is Nieuwendyk after he made a terrific move on Nemchinov. Who the heck was that for the Devils that came sliding through the wrong way? Watch here. Sergei Nemchinov really went for the bait. And then Joe Nieuwendyk, watch this. No, it was Scott Gomez that came rocketing through the other way head first. Shot wide.
And it'll come through Modano again.
Guess what?
Behind the play, a penalty coming up. A penalty coming up.
You bet. It had to be called. This one had to be called. Jason Arnott had Blake Sloan down between his legs, and he cross-checked him right in the side of the head. Remember, in the Edmonton series, Blake Sloan broke his jaw, had 2 plates inserted surgically. The incisions were inside his mouth. He can actually feel one of the plates if you feel under his jaw on the bottom. And when Arnott had him down, he crushed him with a cross-check right on the side of the head. Right here. Watch this. Bang, like that, right on the neck and the jaw, and just pinned his head to the ground. And you know what? Bill McCreary was standing there watching it, and they want to let things go in overtime, yes, but you could not let that go.
Jason Arnott goes to the box. No penalties in the 3 overtimes we had that resulted in a power play in that last game. There will be one here.
There are 2 things on that play. Number 1, Blake Sloan was in a vulnerable position. Number 2, he's already got a broken jaw, and he's wearing that. That's why he's wearing the special cage. I know Jason Arnott was frustrated here because Sloan had hog-tied him. But look at that. Right in front of one of the refs, too.
18:43, so there's a minute 17 to go here in the first overtime. The 2-minute minor goes up on the board. 0 for 3 on the power play for Dallas in this game. 2 for 15 in the playoffs. The Devils penalty killing, as we said, 91% effective in the playoffs and killing them off. Here we go. Shot deflected right off the draw. Nieuwendyk. Power play opportunity. Hull's got it. Dallas with a chance to send it to 7. Hull, Nieuwendyk. Hull trying to get open on the near side dot. Hull goes to the other side now. Mapachuk and Cote back. There's Cote, got it in the skates. Leaves it over to Mapachuk. Mapachuk looking, under a minute left to go in this overtime period. Back he comes to Modano. Hull and Nieuwendyk up up with it. That's check. Cote open far side. There he is. Looking again in front. Shot. Hull blasted it wide. Just Hull timed it.
Perfect out of the playbook. That's exactly how Dallas sets it up to get Brett Hull looking in the slot. The pass goes bang from the top, bang down to Modano, and then right to Brett Hull, and he pulled the trigger and shot it wide.
Devils avoided a very real bullet right there. And cleared back in. 23 to go in the overtime period. More than that on the power play. Zubov, one-timer. Deflected wide by Hull. Niedermayer around far side. Cote holds it in. Modano pushes it back to Hull. Hull looking to the point. Zubov there. Zubov got to get on to block it. Lemieux knocks it away. And Zubov's got to come back to chase it down. The Devils have a short-handed goal in this game that Niedermayer scored. Keane's got the other one. And there will be 42 seconds left on the power play when we start the second overtime.
And there will be a fresh sheet of ice to work that power play on. The Dallas Stars, I think, did remarkably well to work the puck around as effectively as they did, considering that this is the end, just the end of the fourth period of play here in Dallas tonight.
Well, Melanie, the wife of Martin Brodeur, didn't have to worry a lot there because Dallas got one shot on goal in that overtime. New Jersey had 11. It'll be 42 seconds remaining on the power play as Jason Arnott got called on the cross-check. So the Dallas power play continues. Devils 10-1 the shots in the first overtime in favor of New Jersey. Off Modano sticking out, and the power play is over. So Arnott's out. They do not. Dallas does not convert on the power play in overtime.
Multiple overtime records for the guys in net. Marty Brodeur, 1 win, 5 losses. Ed Belfour, an even 500 at 4-4.
Road teams have won the last 11 multiple overtime games. Road teams.
Randy
Brett Hull. New Jersey's had the only 2 shots so far in the second overtime. Modano, Hull, open shot. Save, but it isn't behind anybody. Got it. Brett Hull. No matter how late you go into a game, that cannon is always loaded.
Man. He had time, too, to get really good wood on it. Marty Brodeur lost sight of it. Somehow it was hidden under him. I couldn't see it from where we are either. Here's Brett Hull. Look at the whip in that stick. His stick is so whippy. Shot it on the ice. That was right under him. Right under him. He did not know where it was. When you don't know where it is, as long as it's not behind, sit down. Just get down on it. Oh. Martin Brodeur's wife is here. He had it when he came out to warm up for the second overtime, but you see that he didn't have it during the first overtime. And if you look at the roster, Randy McKay and Jason Arnott are listed as the alternate captains. So they were ripping this off before the period started. And Claude Lemieux had to be getting a dry jersey or changing a jersey, yet it's got the nameplate on the back. He might have worn that A during a time when Jason Arnott was injured. Hard to say, but the rules state you're allowed 1 captain and 2 alternate captains. So a little bit of knife work on the A there to make sure Claude Lemieux didn't come out with one.
Don't want a bench minor call for a violation of the rules there. Near side wire. And Niedermayer will send it back over to Randy McKay. 12:16 to go, second overtime. Intended for Pandolfo. It got blocked and ended up going onto the bench. Still 1-1.
Which makes yesterday, well, that's for another time.
Another story.
Here's the big play. The long reach of Derian Hatcher. Alexander McGillney would have had a golden scoring opportunity if not for the dive of Derian Hatcher.
Off the draw at center. This one back to Stevens. Lettinen moved over him. McGillney got it away to Nemchinov. Nemchinov sent it in. Breland taken down by Cote and Hard. And Breland shook up a bit as his head went into the dash.
The whole body went in. Everything looked like it hit at the same time. Remember, the Devils are already down 1 forward. Petr Sykora only played 3 minutes and 16 seconds before he was nailed by Derian Hatcher and carried off on a stretcher. Yikes. Could have hurt him anywhere. You know that? Ankle, knee, head. Well,
covered the body on that one. I want to remind you to stay tuned for your local news over most of these ABC stations. Gary Thorne, Bill Clement here at 11:57 to go in the second OT. And if you missed it earlier, Breland out there doing the work is all right heading back. Sykora taken to a hospital where they did the MRI. And no damage found. Good news for him. Stevens winds up, takes it. That one wide. And boy, they had a couple of screens the Devils did in front. Back to the point. Stevens stepped up to hold it in. Hull stole it. Stevens holds it in again. Shot it right through the top of the crease. Lemieux center shot. Score! The New Jersey Devils have won the Stanley Cup. Jason Arnott. Stevens holds it in again. Shot it right through the top of the crease. Lemieux center shot. Score! The New Jersey Devils have won the Stanley Cup. Jason Arnott with the game-winning overtime goal.
Oh, finally the ending of the movie that Melanie Brodeur has been watching. The Dallas Stars with an incredible effort to try to keep this thing alive, but finally a mistake. And Jason Arnott in absolutely the right place to handcuff Ed Belfour, and the Devils are the champions.
They win it at 8:20 of the second overtime. The fans applauding everybody. The chant is Eddie, Eddie, rightfully for their goaltender. But the New Jersey Devils have won the Stanley Cup.
Oh. Patrik Elias, what a play. But nobody thought about Jason Arnott. He was in behind Sylvain Cote. He took his time and just deposited a nice little one-timer past Ed Belfour. Then he started to shed the gear. He was getting ready to be jumped on by 20 guys that right now he loves.
Claude Lemieux has won his 4th Stanley Cup. 2 of them have come with the New Jersey Devils, 1 with Colorado and 1 with Montreal. The goal at 8:20 by Jason Arnott is 4th of the finals, 8th of the playoffs. And Elias and Scott Stevens pick up the assists.
Oh boy. The Devils are still celebrating, and the Dallas Stars have started the handshake, the ceremonial handshake. What a play by Patrik Elias. What a play. Without their third man on this line, the chemistry still existed. Sykora in a hospital, probably watching us on TV right now, saw his 2 lineys, Jason Arnott and Patrik Elias, end this in the second overtime period.
The celebration and the line now formed. The 6th coaching change to go to the finals, and the 3rd to win a Stanley Cup when there's been a coaching change during the regular season. Larry Robinson, 1st cup as a head coach, 6 as a player, 1 as an assistant. The coaching staffs, Jarvis right there, he had his hand on his head, 2 great Canadians.
And he was a great teammate of Larry Robinson's for many years in Montreal.
The Devils were the last Eastern Conference team to win the Cup, and they've done it again here in 2000. The game winner to Jason Arnott. Scott Stevens, is he the MVP?
I think he will win the Conn Smythe Trophy as the MVP of the playoffs for what he did defensively against some of the greatest offensive powerhouses in the sport.
He matched up against the best forwards opposing teams had throughout this playoff year. The Devils outshot Dallas in the overtimes 14-2.
They went for it, didn't they? They came out and went for it.
They were not going to go back, if they had any say about it, to a Game 7. They come away with the win on the road. Great veterans right there. Another great veteran in the losing cause, Brian England, down on the ice waiting as Mike Modano goes through the line. Let's get out go to Brian England. Brian?
I'm here with Mike Modano. Mike, as you look back at the series, I mean, you got in a hole down 3-1. Was it just too big a hill to climb?
I think so. I think, you know, our 2 home games that we had here were real tough, 3 and 4. That was really kind of a pivotal point of the series. We fought back. You know, played a great team. They played outstanding. Brodeur was magnificent again, and both goalies were outstanding. So, hats off to them. It's a great thing to accomplish. I know those Gomez are not how they're feeling. It's a great feeling.
Over the last 2 years, you and several of your teammates have played over 200 games. Was the energy level and the emotional tank just getting empty?
Well, you get to this point, I think there's really no emptiness in the tank. Some nights you feel like you're running on fumes, but you know, it's a great thing we've accomplished here the last 3 or 4 years, and the fans have been great.
Congratulations, Mike. Thanks very much for joining us. Let's go to Darren Pang.
Thank you very much, Brian. The victorious goaltender. Second time now you've won the Stanley Cup. I know you've had your wife, your kids following you around. You've got to be absolutely elated, Marty.
Oh, this is an unbelievable feeling. I think this time around, I think I realized it a little more. And, you know, what an effort. You know, these guys played hard, and it was really hard. I'm just glad it's all over now, and we're in the good side of it.
I noticed that you just finally saw where your wife and your kids were sitting.
I was looking at them the whole game. I couldn't find them, and finally now they're up there, and I'm really happy that all my kids are here to see that.
Marty, congratulations. Really great stuff, buddy.
Thank you very much.
Gary and Bill?
All right, Darren, thanks very much. We're going to go to Bill Orman, the PA announcer here in Dallas. There's Lou Lamoriello, the GM, with Kenny Danico, who's been here forever. The big smiles, there's Gary Bettman, commissioner of the National Hockey League, out there with the Conn Smythe trophy. That'll be awarded first, and then the Stanley Cup.
To present the Conn Smythe Trophy.
Now the Conn Smythe Award. And Gary Bettman will be out there to do the award.
The winner of the Conn Smythe Trophy as the 2000 playoff MVP, Captain Scott Stevens.
He may never get away to go and get the trophy from Gary Bettman, the way he is being bear hugged.
He became captain 92-93 of the Devils, and Bill, that's a great story. I mean, one of the big fights was with St. Louis over Stevens, whether or not he'd leave or not. Here he is, Conn Smythe now, and a Stanley Cup winner, all in a dispute with the Blues about a deal. There it is, Conn Smythe, emblematic of the MVP of the Stanley Cup playoffs, the 6th defenseman ever to win the Conn Smythe.
With that smile, we have not seen that smile in this playoff round, simply because of Scott Stevens' intensity. Nobody plays harder in this sport than Scott Stevens.
One of the other defensemen who won it, his coach, Larry Robinson. Conn Smythe.
Sorry,
Let's get down the ice.
Larry, you were the first one to jump. You must have jumped 3 feet high when Scotty Stevens was named the Conn Smythe Trophy winner.
It's you know, Marty played unbelievable, but you know, really through the whole series, Scotty has just been a tower of strength, and he's very, very deserving of it. He's got that C on his chest for a reason. He's been our leader throughout this series and throughout all the playoffs.
Larry, you don't want to take credit for what happened in that Philadelphia series, but as a coach, did you grow because of a situation like that?
No, I've had to yell a little bit when I was in LA, but no, this is not about me. I'm happy for those guys that are out there, and I just like to make mention to as well about Sutton and Bombardier and Kelly and Stevie Brule, who, you know, sat in the sidelines, and I know Stevie Brule came in and played a couple of big games for us, or at least one game anyway, and Kelly came in the Florida series, and so I'd like to make mention to them because they are also a part of this team and very deserving.
Well, Larry Robinson, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Now let's go to the commissioner, Gary Bettman, with the Stanley Cup.
Here is the moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Stanley Cup.
Patrick Elias actually has Petr Sykora's jersey draped over his shoulders in honor of the man that is in the hospital right now watching this.
There is Lord Stanley's Cup. This is what it is all about. 1893, the original first bowl was $48.67. Awarded to the Amateur Hockey Association of Canada. The National Hockey League took it over in 1927.
The Stanley Cup is the hardest trophy to win once, and even harder to defend the second time. The Dallas Stars played like true champions to defend the cup. In congratulating the New Jersey Devils, when you look at a hockey team, you have to look at the organization from the top. The Devils have been owned for almost 20 years by John McMullen, and this Stanley Cup is a tribute to the passion that he has for the game of hockey and for his New Jersey Devils. When you think of dedication, teamwork, hard work, and doing the right thing, you think of Lou Lamoriello, the president and general manager. Congratulations to Lou as well. Larry Robinson and the coaching staff, another Hall of Fame performance, Larry, for your career. Congratulations. I know the Devils fans in New Jersey are watching this. Congratulations to you as well. 1995 seems a long time ago and a short time ago in a lot of respects, but the fans hung with the team, and I know the team drew straight from your support. Last but not least, the players. This is a team that had its ups and downs this year, played through adversity, came through when it mattered. To win the Stanley Cup, you need to have heart. This team has championship heart. Scott Stevens, I'm proud to present you with the Stanley Cup.
So now comes that magic moment that every hockey player dreams of, the chance to skate.
That's showbiz.
Ken Danico played in every playoff game ever played by the New Jersey Devils. He was the third man to hoist it after Randy McKay, Scott Stevens, and Melanie can say, yeah, I can watch this. I don't have to hide my eyes anymore.
Lamoriello, the GM, with him. Second cup in 6 years for the New Jersey Devils. Final year of ownership for John McMullen. Let's check in with Brian Engblom again. Brian.
Scott Stevens and Scotty, just tell me about the emotions you're feeling right now.
Well, I'm a little tired to feel anything, but it's unbelievable. I mean, this is a dream come true for our team and for myself, and it's just so exciting. It's different to win on the road. It's just great, but the Stars never gave up. You have to give them credit. They just fought, and they never tired, and it was a heck of a series.
I know all playoffs long you were telling all the young guys in your team, and you got several of them, that you may never get another chance. Scotty, you're 36 years old. Were you playing like this was your last chance?
Well, yeah, and I was telling them that, so they'd play hard for me because, like you said, Brian, you don't get too many chances, and I'm getting up there, but this is so sweet, and I'm just going to enjoy it.
Bure, Sundin, Leclerc, Modano, Hull, you must be seeing these guys in your sleep. How did you last just playing against these guys shift after shift, game after game like that?
I don't know, you have to do your homework, and I've done it quite a bit in the past, so I know all the players, and this was a tough challenge against these guys. They pass the puck so well, and they don't put themselves in a position to get hit, and you just got to play position, but Marty did a great job to help out, no question about that.
Congratulations, go have some fun, Scott.
Thank you, Brian. Thanks.
Let's go back upstairs to Gary Thorne.
The cup continues to be skated. The New Jersey Devils have won it, and the celebration will continue here, and Stevens got an assist of the game-winning goal at 8:20 from Arnott and Lemieux. For Bill Clement and I upstairs, that'll cover.
And Arnott will take the draw for New Jersey.
They have played McGillney with Arnott and Eliash most of the overtime. Gomez was there a little bit in regulation time.
Modano on the draw for Dallas, comes back to the line. Stevens winds up the shot, just wide. Kept in though. Shot to the line, Stevens kept it in. Hull flipped it, it hit Stevens. He put it in wide of the net for Eliash to dig it out. Right in front, they score! The Stanley Cup goal is scored by Arnott. The New Jersey Devils are celebrating. Ed Belfour is in shock just now getting up. 2-1. The Devils win Game 6. The Devils of New Jersey have won the Stanley Cup.
Well, they've overcome all kinds of adversity. Their team was sold. They changed coaches. They were down 3-1 to Philly, and they blew Game 5 when they could have won it at home. The greater the difficulty, the more the glory in surmounting it. Skillful pilots gain their reputation from storms and tempests.
Well, a lot of the credit for the success must go to Larry Robinson. He took over as coach with 8 games left. The Devils were in first place, granted, but there were rumors of discontent. Robinson took charge, and they liked it. Robinson knows how to win for sure. 20 great seasons in the league. He won a Conn Smythe trophy, too, in 1978 with the Canadiens. Mike Modano, of course, broken-hearted. What a series he's had. Double shifting, and in the overtime games, too, and again here tonight. Well, Larry gets his 8th cup now, 6 as a player, 1 as an assistant coach, and now this one, head coach.
And the trip was worth it for the Brodeur family.
What a series this has been, though. Electrifying, no question about it. The handshakes will occur at center ice. These two warriors, these two teams, what a show they put on. 3 overtimes the other night in East Rutherford, and here tonight in the second overtime, the goal coming at 8:20 by Arnott from Eliash. Stevens. Quite something. 28 minutes and 20 seconds of overtime to decide a 2-1 victory and the Stanley Cup game.
And thank you, NHL, for not allowing everybody and his brother out on the ice so these two teams could celebrate and congratulate each other.
The most famous trophy in professional sports is the Stanley Cup. And the New Jersey Devils will now receive their second Stanley Cup.
And they faced a gallant opponent, the Dallas Stars, as New Jersey wins their first playoff overtime game in 8 to win it.
Let's go to Ron McLean.
Thanks, gentlemen. Larry Robinson, congratulations. There's a little thumbs up for Brett Hall. Go ahead. Your team's out there. I know you want to watch as much as talk, but congratulations, Larry. Couldn't have it to a nicer man.
Thank you very much.
Your thoughts?
Well, this has been an awful hard series on the nerves, and I just want to say that, Dylan, this one's for you, baby. Thank you.
Yes, congratulations, Larry Robinson. A little thumbs up from Jeanette, too.
2 Nova Scotia boys embracing, and tears. Tears of joy and tears of sadness. Well, that's the way sport is. It can be very, very cruel sometimes, and I guess it is for a lot of people here in this town tonight. The crowd standing very silent, witnessed a terrific game. Look at these two, one-time partners in hockey. And Ron McLean is down on the ice level. Let's go again, Ron.
Thank you, Bob. Lou Lamoriello, congratulations. Again, the only question I guess you can ever ask is, what excites you the most about the performance of your Stanley Cup champion team?
Well, to watch the effort that they made tonight, and, you know, after coming off the loss the other night, just to compete the way they did. And the thing that I'm most impressed with is that the way they felt all day. They just felt as though, let's go out and just play. Let's have some fun, but more important, let's not have a 7th game.
I couldn't think of a tougher spot for Brodeur. Belfour was unconscious, so was Marty, but to lose the way he did and rally tonight, I guess that and some of the other efforts you might want to speak to.
Yeah, well, I mean, I can go right down the lineup. I mean, Marty was just incredible, but the job our defense did in this series was incredible. And more importantly, the job our coaching staff did. Larry Robinson,
spoke to them prior to the series. We had a meeting and said that we're going to have discipline. We're not going to react to anything, no matter what the hits are, no matter what the penalties are. We've just got to play. And if some guy gets in a little skirmish, get in there and pull him out. And that's what did it for us. You hired. You got Alexander McGillney, who's a famous gunner. You had 4 kids. There's a couple of thoughts too, I think.
Yeah, I mean, we felt when we made those trades we were going to go for it, and things worked out for us.
Lou, congratulations.
Thank you.
Lou Lamoriello, there's Claude Lemieux coming over for an embrace, and here comes the Conn Smythe Trophy. So we'll have that presentation coming up, Bob and Harry.
Yep, that'll be announced now very, very soon. The Conn Smythe Trophy, presented to the most valuable player in the Stanley Cup playoffs for the year 2000. We're talking about the entire Stanley Cup playoffs now when you talk about the MVP. And I know you at home have your choices. Let's find out now.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome National Hockey League Commissioner Gary Bettman to present the Conn Smythe Trophy to the 2000 Stanley Cup Playoffs Most Valuable Player.
The winner of the Conn Smythe Trophy as the 2000 playoff MVP, Captain Scott Stevens.
Scott Stevens, the stalwart captain, stalwart defenseman with the New Jersey Devils. So many punishing body checks throughout the playoffs. I don't think you could find a steadier man. And he comes forward now to receive from the Commissioner of the National Hockey League, Gary Bettman, the Conn Smythe Trophy as the most valuable player in these playoffs.
Great to see it go to a defensive defenseman. Larry Robinson's won it. Al McInnes won it. And Scott Stevens asked Pavel Bure, Matt Sundin, Mark Recchi who they'd vote for. And I think they'd see Stevens. But believe me, Bob, there were other worthy candidates, and one of them was Ed Belfour, playing for the team that lost.
But it's the captain, the defenseman for the New Jersey Devils, who has claimed that trophy. And you know what he's thinking about next. The next trophy, you see, it's the first glimpse of this trophy for these fans in Dallas, Texas, or many of them anyway. It was won last year in Buffalo when Brett Hull scored the winning goal. Now this year, Arnott scores the winning goal in overtime to win it in the 6th game of this best of 7. It sure looked like it might go back for a 7th game in New Jersey. That has not happened. Arnott nearly was the GOAT, getting a penalty late at 18:43 of the first overtime on a cross check. But they killed it off. And then he was the hero. Marty and his young boy, who's got a Texas hat on now. And Marty has the cap he wanted, the championship cap.
Stevens is the 6th defenseman to win the Conn Smythe Trophy. Bobby Orr's the only one to win it twice.
The officials of the National Hockey League with, here it is, the Stanley Cup. A polite crowd with polite applause here in Dallas.
We are going to show you the goal by Arnott after we watch the presentation of the most beautiful trophy.
The Stanley Cup is the hardest trophy to win once, and even harder to defend for a second time. The Dallas Stars played like true champions in defending the cup. In congratulating the New Jersey Devils, When you look at a hockey team, you have to look at the organization from the top. The Devils have been owned for almost 20 years by John McMullen. And this Stanley Cup is a tribute to the passion that he has for the game of hockey and for his New Jersey Devils. When you think of dedication, teamwork, hard work, and doing the right thing, you think of Lou Lamoriello, the president and general manager. Congratulations to Lou as well. Larry Robinson and the coaching staff, another Hall of Fame performance, Larry, for your career. Congratulations. I know the Devils fans in New Jersey are watching this. Congratulations to you as well. 1995 seems a long time ago and a short time ago in a lot of respects, but the fans hung with the team, and I know the team drew strength from your support. Last but not least, the players. This is a team that had its ups and downs this year, played through adversity, came through when it mattered. To win the Stanley Cup, you need to have heart. This team has championship heart. Scott Stevens, I'm proud to present you with the Stanley Cup.
And of course, after the presentation, you'll see the parade of players doing something they've dreamt of ever since they were 2, 3, 4 years old as kids. Someday I'll do this. Someday I will hold the Stanley Cup high and kiss it. Scott Stevens, well done. He'll give everybody a turn. Don't worry. There he goes.
Quite a nice tribute by Larry Robinson, who put Michael Sykora sweater on. Sykora's at the hospital here in Dallas, and unfortunately cannot take part in this celebration, where he was highly responsible for many of the wins in the playoffs.
This crowd remains here, hushed, saddened. A split-second shot by Arnott, and the bubble bursts. Here's Ron McLean.
Thanks a lot, Bob. Here's Randy McKay, Claude Lemieux. The whole band, as you can see, the cup's going right by us here. Randy, congratulations. You played a hell of a game tonight, and it was an unbelievable series. What are you feeling?
Oh, I think it was a great series, and these two last games are typify both teams. Overtime, both games, and this one could have went either way. Again, I'm just glad it went our way because I didn't want to play Game 7. But
congratulations. That's a heroic performance. Let's bring in a few of the players. I'll just spin around here, and you can check. Have to walk a few feet over to get Martin Brodeur. Marty, I can't say enough about what you did here. That had to be the heartbreaker of heartbreakers the other night, and you just wouldn't give them an inch tonight. Congratulations. What's going through your mind?
Oh, this is a big relief. You know, it's amazing. You know, these guys, you have to give them a lot of credit coming back like that, the way they played and stayed alive. But you know, our guys, we didn't quit. We wanted this bad, and we didn't want to go home and play Game 7. So this is a great feeling.
You really did a number. Well done. Win one's tough enough, but to win the second one is always a treat. Congrats. Anybody you want to say hello to?
Everybody back home. Hopefully everybody's watching it, and you know, thank you very much for all the support. This is it's been a great run, and hopefully we'll do it again. Thank you.
You bet. Scott Niedermayer, are you going to get the cup here, Scotty? You've not probably had it. I don't want to spoil. How about a quick comment? What an amazing effort that was.
The last two games have been unbelievable, going into overtime like that, and you know, I don't know, you believe, but it's so hard to believe because games are so close, and it's just an amazing feeling. I don't know, it's awesome. It's great. My wife and my mom are down here. I'd like to say hi to everybody back home in Cranbrook. You know, I'll be back there, and I know they were cheering hard for me, so it's awesome. Thank you. Thanks.
Great goal, great victory.
Thank you. Thanks.
Patrick Eliash, what a wonderful performance. Patrick, a comment on the feeling of carrying the Stanley Cup tonight.
I thought I won't be able to carry it, but it's pretty heavy, but I'm glad. You know, we still have that strength for that, and it's unbelievable feelings. I don't know really what I'm feeling right now, but look at that. Can be probably beat these feelings ever.
We're getting good news on Peter. Of course, took an awful hit there, but Larry Robinson had you and Peter together at practice, and just what was he saying, and what were the two of you, knowing how much you mean to this team, thinking about tonight's game?
Yeah, you know, we play pretty good games at home, but we're playing always better on the road, and we knew that we got to stick to our game. And he told us not to worry about the end results and just worry about our game and play as hard as we can. and we've done it. This is great, and I hope Peter is okay, and we got his jersey here, so he's with us.
What a show. Well done.
And slowly they're going through the ranks. Everybody getting a taste of this, of course, is something they have played for so long. There's the coach, Larry Robinson, and you see the jersey he has. Sykora's jersey, number 17. And as Ron mentioned, we're hearing good news from the hospital that they're keeping him there overnight for observation, but he's okay.
Brodeur, who didn't play a game, gets a sweater on and gets out to celebrate, as all the Black Aces do. They're a vital part of any team, and they are often forgotten, but thankfully not by this group. And here's the winning goal. Elias will center the puck right by Hatcher, and Jason Arnott makes no mistake getting it up into the top, and that is the Stanley Cup winning goal. Jason Arnott from Elias and Stevens in the second overtime with 11 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the second overtime. And there is what you do when you do what you've dreamt of doing 1,000 times over. Here's the bench, they'll tell you.
Finally, after being in there so many times and watching Belfour do his magic, finally, Arnott gets one up high.
Larry Robinson here will show you that 8 Stanley Cups, every one is better than the last one. Jason Arnott talking to home, I'm sure. We haven't seen that in a Stanley Cup victory parade for all the years that the trophy's been presented.
8:20 of the second overtime period. This gentleman, Jason Arnott, scored a goal to win the Stanley Cup for the New Jersey Devils. Final shots in the game, 45-31 in favor of the Devils. They got that goal, a 2-1 victory in Game 6, and they have won the Stanley Cup.
Brad, Kelly, everybody grab it. What a feeling at ice level. New Jersey Devils surround the 107-year-old Stanley Cup. Second title for the franchise, and the really impressive part being out at ice level was just to see the reaction of the fans here at Reunion Arena. They had the defending Stanley Cup champs. They saw them lose in their own rink, and they were just so respectful and appreciative of the effort of the New Jersey Devils. There you see Petr Sykora's sweater, front and center with the Conn Smythe trophy. Slice of heaven in every Devil tonight. Here are the Ford 3 stars of the dramatic double overtime victory, courtesy Jason Arnott here at Reunion. Number 1 and 2, understandably, the netminders, and Arnott provides the Stanley Cup winning goal for the Devils. We'll continue our coverage. Scott Oak, Scott Russell, Don Cherry all standing by. We'll be in the winner's dressing room, and we'll also hear from the losing side. What a performance by the Dallas Stars. We'll continue our coverage of the year 2000 Stanley Cup Championship on Hockey Night in Canada. .28-20 of overtime. The Stanley Cup winning goal from Jason Arnott. Here's a couple of looks at how Jason will lie on his pillow tonight and think about this, and not just tonight, but every night for the rest of the summer. As we started this Stanley Cup Championship saying, Brett Auerbach used to tell his players, everybody will look at you all summer long and tell you you're a member of the best team in the world. And he is the reason that you got by Eddie Belfour, and that was saying something. Belfour, terrific. Scott Stevens, deservedly
capturing the Conn Smythe trophy, and there's the man who answered the bell for it. Brodeur with his family, that's William and Jeremy, the twins, and Anthony and his wife Melanie, of course, has been a star. And I worried about that being a jinx, because sometimes when you show the wives angst, remember Rosalind Van Beesbrook in Miami back in 1996, and her anguish when they got that long shot goal. Don Cherry's joined me in studio, and Don, do you want to discuss the game winner?
Well, you see where it started from the point. All goals start from the point. It didn't go in off the point, but a shot in it from the point. Always cover the points, I've been talking. All the goals go from the point. And also, remember early in the thing I said about the defenseman always having one guy in front. The right defenseman ran in the left corner and left it wide open. Always have a guy in front. I said that, and that's what happened.
Larry Robinson, as head coach, his rant after the 4th game of the previous series was said to have been the difference. I'm not sure who you point to or what you point to with New Jersey on their run, because if you go back to the first round, they were up 3-0 against Florida, and they gave up 2 quick ones, and a team with a fragile psyche. They found a way to win that one. And
here's the story. Everybody says they're faster. They're not faster. You put guy for guy, they're not faster. They're bigger and they're stronger. That was the deal. Bigger and stronger. They could bull their way in the corners, and they dumped the puck in all the time. And the other team, Dallas, tried to carry it in. As soon as you got the red line, in, and away you go. And that's what you do. Isn't this great?
Yes.
It makes it all worthwhile right here.
That's a sign. The trophy, of course, is as big in Europe as it is in North America.
Sega Beach right there. Jason Arnott.
Yeah, he is a beauty. And that was a tough penalty for Jason, no question about it.
With his teeth knocked out.
He probably said to himself, that's it. I'm going to go out and prove him.
With his teeth knocked out?
Yes. And the previous, on the big hit by Derian Hatcher, was a terror too. You talk about Scott Stevens. They were equals in that regard.
How can anybody say that hockey's not great? I mean, how can anybody right now, or say on TV or on the radio, that hockey isn't great right now? How can you say that? I don't understand. Okay, a little long, maybe. But that was unbelievable.
And it's for Bulldogs. Make no mistake. I was talking to Bill McCreary and Terry Gregson, and they said, it's so tough because it's so on the edge. And but both sides.
And they did a good job too. I'm always on the referees. This is the last 3 or 4 games they've really done a great job. And I say this is the way they should do it all the time. But don't give me the cream of the crop. That's the way they should ref all the time, as far as I'm concerned. It shows they can do it. Bigger and tougher. Not faster or younger, only a year like that. Bigger and tougher.
And Belfour, an incredible penalty killer.
Unbelievable. Shorthanded goals, too. I just can't understand those shorthanded goals against Dallas.
And don't think Randy McKay didn't appreciate lots of ice time tonight. Yep. And a real great finishing performance by a man who's won a Calder Cup and 2 Stanley Cups. He's a winner all the way. Reaction from the dressing rooms as we continue our celebration of the year 2000 Stanley Cup, which belongs to New Jersey.